Welcome to my channel and welcome back all of my returning subscribers. We're going to be doing a 72-hour forecast. If you want to stick around and you're not already subscribed and you feel like I resonate with you while watching this video, make sure you subscribe if you want to see future videos, and also like the video. And I will leave all of my information below if you do want to book a reading with me or if you want to follow me on my other social medias. But enough of that, let's go ahead and get straight into the reading itself. So first, we're going to look at the general energy for the next 72 hours for you. We got the Four of Pentacles, we got the Eight of Cups, and we also have the Knight of Swords. So this is a time period of protecting your energy. You could have a lot of things that are demanding time-wise, so you have to be very careful, or you're realizing that you have to be very careful, at least during this time frame, about how you're spending your time. You could be also feeling like there's certain people who are just so demanding of your energy, and this could be causing you to want to put better boundaries in place in terms of how much time you're spending with certain people or how much energy you're kind of divvying out as well. It also talks about saving money during the next 72 hours. You could be focusing on like a savings plan or some sort of move that you're about to make, like a physical move or a financial move that you're going to be making that does require you to kind of put some money to the side. I also see that for my singles, some of you could be dating somebody newer, or you could be connecting with someone newer, and you could be realizing that maybe you've been single for some time and it's a bit of a process when it comes to opening up and feeling comfortable enough to like maybe express yourself in a romantic sense with somebody, or even feel safe enough to trust them with like going to certain levels within the connection. I also see you guys like trying your best to stay focused. The Knight of Swords does talk about like having a goal in mind. So there's something you're trying to accomplish over the next 72 hours. It's just important that you don't get caught up in the goal itself or the outcome of that goal, that you miss enjoying the journey or you miss certain important details as well. Someone also could be flying off the handle with the way that they communicate. Be careful of getting roped in or baited into some sort of argument. Someone could be trying to be intentionally passive aggressive to solicit a response from you, or to get you to say certain things or to respond a certain way. Now, going into what I see for the advice for the next 72 hours for you, Taurus, we have the Hermit, the Four of Wands in reverse, and the Three of Swords. So making sure you're not spending way too much time to yourself. Take much needed, time to reflect and to think, but limit it. I was just saying this for another sign. I forgot which sign it was, but reflection has to be something that we go in intentionally, like all across the board. We go into it with a balanced perspective, looking at the positives and, maybe the negatives, or not maybe, but the negatives. And we also we give ourselves a certain amount of time to reflect. So we say, I'm going to go into reflective mode for a day, or I'm going to go into reflective mode for an hour, whatever amount of time that you allow yourself to, depending on whatever this may be. And then you pull yourself out of it after this time period so that you don't get caught up in rumination, because reflection can quickly turn into that if it's not something that's controlled in terms of timing. So that's one piece of advice. Another thing is to maybe keep certain information to yourself. There may be certain individuals around you who are not supportive of what you have going on, and you telling them your plans to, move certain places or to do certain things may not necessarily be supported. Another piece of advice is to allow yourself the chance to start over. Some of you have felt a bit disappointed with how things have turned out with, let's say, a family relationship or in terms of a creative endeavor, but it only stops at like disappointment and failure when you just kind of stop there instead of learn from it. So allow yourself a chance to learn is the advice. Now, going deeper, what is the possible challenge my Taurus may face over the next 72 hours? What is the possible challenge? So I have the Page of Wands, the Seven of Wands, and also the Five of Swords. So this could be with a specific sign, Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo, where you guys could be getting into, certain arguments. Doesn't have to be a fire sign at all, but there could be someone who you're dealing with where they could be more argumentative, or they could be more passive aggressive, or a lot more defensive, and choosing to let their frustration or their anger make them communicate horribly, or even self-sabotage to some degree. Another challenge could be like your own frustration. You could be at a space to where things have been frustrating in terms of you having to feel like you've had to protect yourself, you've had to defend your position in terms of what you've been building, that the challenging part is getting out of this state of feeling like you have to be in the Seven of Wands, where you can allow yourself to flow. So the challenge here is, how can we get out of the state of overprotectiveness and defensiveness and blocking things out to protect, us as a whole, into, allowing opportunity to come in and allowing newness to come in strategically. Another challenge could be just someone wanting to hold on to problems. They may not want understanding, at least not during this time period. So anybody who is like trying to fight you teeth and nail in terms of, whatever this may be mindful of trying to, force peace when this person is not in that mindset yet. Now, going into love, what does the energy look like for love for my Taurus for the next 72 hours? I have the Ace of Swords, the Four of Swords, and also the Eight of Wands. So with your love life, there could finally be clarity around what to do with a love interest. I'm going to start with my, since I already went there, I'm going to start with my Virgos, or I said Virgos, my Taurus who are in a relationship. For my Taurus who are in a relationship, this is a time period where you guys are going to get understanding in regards to what to do with your person. Especially if you guys haven't been speaking, you guys have been on a break, you will get clarity on what to say, how you want to express yourself, and what you're going to do wholeheartedly. And there will be a chance for you guys to move past the issue. It's just how you guys go about communicating. For my Taurus who are also dealing with somebody and not on a break from them, you could be having a conversation over the next 72 hours that gives you insight on what your person's been thinking, especially if they have been kind of in their own mind or just in their own energy. You've been wondering like, okay, why do they seem distant? Or why do they seem like they're just kind of off in their own world? They could finally give you insight on like exactly what that is. For my Taurus who are single, you could be spending more time just figuring out whether or not you're ready to date again. It may have been a process for you to get to the point where you're at now, where you have the understanding that you have at this moment. So it's this question of like, if I put myself back out there when it comes to dating, is this going to be a mistake? Now, going into your career and finance, what's going on with my Taurus in terms of career and finance for the next 72 hours? So, okay, so some of my Taurus, you have multiple things that you're interested in or possibly considering. If not multiple career opportunities, this could be multiple lanes that you could go into. Okay, you may not even be too sure about maybe the job that you're at now and whether or not like long term this fits for the foundation you're trying to build for yourself. Because there could be goals that you have that kind of go beyond where you're at this moment. So it's important that you kind of pace yourself before making any decisions, like any permanent decisions, while trying to get to this point of clarity. For some of you, you could just be wondering like, okay, am I missing out on something by me pursuing this one particular opportunity where I do feel drawn to this other thing? So give yourself some time, if I can talk, to get to a point of conclusion is the message. Some of you guys also may be reconsidering if living where you're at now is the place to be for the type of career you're trying to have. You may have moved there for a job, or you may have moved there to better your life, but you could be considering like, okay, maybe I should move elsewhere because I could get paid more, or there may be more opportunities for me in this different state or in this different city, or I can be closer to my job. I do see that as well. But this is what I see for the next 72 hours for you guys. I hope that this did give you insight in regards to what to expect. If you did enjoy, definitely thumbs up the video, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, Taurus.